everyone. My name is Carrie Hopkins Doubts, and I'm from Life's Next Chapter Coaching. I'm a spiritual resilience coach, and I specialize in helping people through major life transitions. And yeah, during these uncertain times globally, we've been experiencing multiple losses that occur with the pandemic, the shifting of our social and economic foundations, and now war. And so our response to these losses, whether we experience them personally or whether we see them on the news, affects us profoundly. And right now, millions of people are grieving, and you may be too. So I'm going to be talking with you about understanding grief. And sometimes when I hear people talk about the difficulties that they're having, I reflect to them that they're grieving a loss and that their thoughts and their feelings suddenly make sense to them. So, what is grief? Grief is the normal and natural reaction to significant loss in your life. And in most cases, the grieving process is both normal and temporary. A- And no two people will experience grief in exactly the same way. So the amount of time it takes to recover from loss, it varies greatly from person to person. So I'm going to share with you some of the possible experiences of grief. um, Dealing with loss creates stress on all levels of our consciousness: physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. And today I'll focus on how grief affects us on the emotional level. And you may be experiencing some or all of these challenges. So just sort of just take in my words and see if you check the boxes. So there's an initial shock and numbness with grief. Often there's emotional flooding and feelings of sadness, anger, anxiety, and fearfulness. Sometimes it's a sense of hopelessness or helplessness, and it can feel like a depression as well. And different cultures have varying approaches to grief, and our society tends to place emphasis on keeping that stiff upper lip and moving on, and a belief that it's better to keep your feelings to yourself. And generally speaking, the most difficult area for people to deal with their grieving is at the emotional level. And so in my 9-step program for rebuilding your life after loss, the first step I take people through is creating a safety net. It's expressing and releasing the pain. And the main principles here are: all of your feelings are okay. And it's important to feel, express, and release all your feelings. And the way out of pain is to go into the pain and through it to the other side. So, to allow yourself to feel and express all of your feelings and thoughts is so important. This is about giving yourself permission to cry, to feel angry, to feel everything. I often hear people say, "I'm so tired of crying all the time and indulging myself in these negative feelings." And that's understandable. And if you're trying to push away or negate your feelings, what you're really doing is blocking your energy from flowing. And emotions are just that, they're energy in motion. They are based on our thoughts, and the quality and energy of our thoughts will produce the emotion to match. So, an example is the thought: you might be thinking, "Oh, the world is not a safe place." And the emotion that you're going to feel with that is anxiety or anger, a sense of helplessness, hopelessness. So, when we allow for our emotional expression, the releasing of the energy, these feelings will generally pass. It's kind of like the weather. One moment it's raining, the next it's sunny. And if you don't resist your feelings, they will simply move through you and be replaced by the next feeling behind it. We can, with practice, create a container of safety to hold our feelings as we experience them, so we can express them and release them. And you may think that a negative feeling needs to be fixed or healed, and so you'll have that feeling replaced by a more positive one. And feelings just want to be felt and acknowledged. When we give ourselves permission and space to feel our feelings, they tend to release on their own. Now, if you try to avoid feeling painful emotions, what you're doing is burying it even deeper in your consciousness, and the energy is locked in. And when the energy is blocked, it goes to the more dense level, which is the physical body. And there's been lots of studies on how grief suppresses the immune system, can cause heart problems and other somatic illnesses. And so, for the sake of your overall health and well-being, the cornerstone of wellness on all levels is to release the emotional energy through expression. This means naming your feeling, accepting that it's okay to feel this way, and then talking about it. When you express your feelings using feeling words, this allows you to keep the energy moving up and out of your body. You're moving the inside experience into the external world and then releasing it. It's like up and out. So I want to introduce a tool to you. It's called freeform writing, and it's a form of journaling. This is a tool I use with myself, with my clients, as a way of setting up a safe space for all of us to access our feelings. So what we do is we give them a name, we express and release them in service to freeing up the energy that's stuck there. So this is fairly simple process. First, you find a place where you can close the door and not be disturbed. It's called total privacy. It's a solo process. This is a writing process where you write what comes to your mind, writing as fast as possible, not necessarily in complete sentences, just keeping the pen moving to match the speed of your thoughts. You do the process longhand, not on the computer. As emotions surface, you keep writing. If it's anger, keep scribbling. If it's sadness, just keep writing through your tears. There is nothing off limits here, and you can say anything that you need to say. When the emotional energy is done releasing, you'll know. You'll have a sense of release and relief. Now, what you're going to do is take these pages and either shred them or immediately burn them. It's really important, don't read them. You've just basically vomited on the page, so don't leave them around for somebody else to read or find either. So after doing this, you're going to be in a tender place. And I recommend spending some quiet time with yourself just to flood yourself with loving, to do maybe some forgiveness work, affirmation work with a little meditation. And doing freeform writing does two things for you. First, you're giving yourself a safe way to express, and also you're giving yourself the message, I'm here for myself. So if you'd like me to send you written instructions on how to do this tool, please email me at Carrie@lifesnextchaptercoaching.com. I hope you found this informative and that this tool is helpful for you.